Despite having a 16-point lead at one point in this game, the Chicago Sky completely collapsed in the second half of this game and end up losing it 72-79 against the Washington Mystics. We're going to talk about it all and more, but you know what we got to do first? Got to play that intro.
Welcome to Chicago Sky Central, and here's your host, Haize.
What's going on, Sky fans? Welcome to another episode of Chicago Sky Central, your number one spot for everything Chicago Sky related. I'm the host there, Haize, but more importantly, you guys can follow the channel at Chicago Sky Pod on every social media platform we happen to be on. With that said, let's go ahead and get into this content today, y'all. And the Chicago Sky looked really good in the first half of this game. They won the first quarter 26-11. They were out there rolling. The ball was moving around pretty well for them as well. Just as a team, they were playing with their heads up, building off the momentum out of their last win. Unfortunately, that did not stay up after this. Despite scoring 26 points in the first quarter, 18 points in the second quarter, the Sky go on to score only 28 points combined in the second half of this game, while the Washington Mystics score a combined 47 points in the second half of this game. And it's just is what it is. Turnovers, 22 turnovers for the Chicago Sky today. You cannot survive when you turn over the ball that much. 7 turnovers from Angel Reese, 4 turnovers from Rebecca Allen. You had another 2 from Ariel Atkins in this game as well. 5 from Haley Vanlith coming off the bench. You cannot have that many turnovers, especially from players that handle the ball that much, and be able to win this game. Now, the stat line looks good, except for the turnovers for Angel and Camilla today. 17 points, 10 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 steal, 1 block from Angel Reese in this game. Those 7 turnovers, though, they really hurt. She was an efficient 7 of 13 from the field as well, 3 or 4 from the three-point line. We continue to see more point forward type things from Angel Reese. There are several times where she got the rebound, and rather than give the ball to the guard, she even calmed down the offense, ran a set, gave it back to the point guard, and went on to set a screen herself. And that's just part of the maturity thing of Angel Reese as we continue to develop her in this league. Her doing more point forward things is going to be really important. She's going to have a really big opportunity to do that on this roster without, Courtney Vandersloot being gone, even with Haley Vanlith playing 26 minutes today. Still, you're going to see a lot of point forward opportunities for Angel Reese with Haley Vanlith out there. And hopefully they can continue to build off that chemistry. Camila Cardoso, 18 points, 10 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal, 1 block. She had a very aggressive first half of this game. Not necessarily as aggressive on the offensive side in the second half of the game, but overall the offense couldn't get in rhythm with the amount of turnovers that they were having. So I'm not going to, just blame that on Camila or anything, but she had a really good stat line. Usually if you can get a double-double from both Angel and Camila, you're going to be in a position to win that game. The Sky just could not hit enough shots down the stretch of this game. They were 30% from three-point range, while the Washington Mystics were 46% from three-point range. They not only hit it at a good percentage, they hit shots that changed the momentum. Anytime the Sky got into a point where it's like, okay, they're going on a run, okay, they just need to stop, it seemed like they would hit a big shot. And those things are really debilitating for a team when you have to expound this energy to get back into a game and a team hits a big shot. And, it's unfortunate when it comes down to that. When they also had 22 free throws today to the Washington Mystics. The refs had a tight whistle today. The Sky got to the free throw line 13 times themselves. They went 9 of 13, but the Mystics went 14 of 22 from the free throw line in this game, and so they took advantage of that. The Sky played sloppy today. They had 22 turnovers and 22 personal fouls. You got to play tighter than that. And that I'm looking at Tyler Marsh to really help get this team in rhythm in that and tighten up that part of the game. It's not blaming on coaching, but you want to look at coaching to be one of the reasons that you could correct that for sure. And if we're going to get that in gear like we need to, you're going to have to be better in that. You're just going to have to be better as far as being able to get and tighten up and just play less sloppy ball. And as long as the Sky are playing sloppy like this, is going to continue to be tough for them every single night. You get 10 points from Ariel Atkins. She goes 4 of 9 from the field, which isn't great, but isn't bad. She also has 7 assists. She actually leads the Sky with assists in this game. 4 of 9 from the field, 0 of 1 from three-point range. And this team really is just kind of missing a go-to scorer. And it is what it is. I don't know if we're going to be able to find that this season or anything like that, but you just see how how things hurt. Like, because for example, Brittany Sykes today, 32 points, and she went 13 of 24 from the field, 4 or 5 from 3-point range. She hit every time. It seemed like the Mystic needed a momentum shift. Brittany was there. She gave that out, and she just played in at that level. And you need that. When you have that go-to scorer, it helps you a lot. And the Sky are definitely missing that themselves. We got Stevo in the building. What just happened here? There we go. What's going on, Stevo?
What's good? What's good?
What was one of the things that stood out for you in this game today, man?
I mean, like I said, and before we got off, like the turnovers in the third quarter is probably the conclusion of this whole game. You can't come out here turning like they came out. It was like 4 instant turnovers. Angel, the point guards, our guards, Rebecca Allen. It when it came down to it, that wasn't the same team that played in that first half. I don't know what happened. I don't know what it is. I felt like we kind of got a little bit of figured out on the offensive side of the ball. They kind of realized that we was doing a lot of drive and kick. FYI, that's why a lot of those turnovers happened on when we was trying to kick out back to the three. So when you got a game plan figured out and you don't have anything to bounce off of it and react on it, that's the type of the game you get from. You get 12 points in the third quarter and 16 points in the fourth quarter. When it's a close game like that, you're not slated to win the game in that way. So yeah, like we needed more from our the three position is probably the position that's still. I know like the guards is weird, but we still be getting some production from our guards. That three position is probably our most inconsistent position, whether it's on a starting bench, the backup of the bench. Like the threes just need to step up. And I think Michaela could have been that answer if she played more. She only played 11 minutes. So if Tyler just get over these rotation woes, I feel like that will stop him from having so many blunders in the second half of games.
Now, I get why you have Kia Nurse and Rebecca Allen out there to help space the floor a little bit, as they've both been solid 3-point shooters. But do you think that we could get to a point to where you need to put Michaela Onyenwere out there as a starter to add some defensive versatility out there? Or do you think we're going to keep it with going with the shooting more so there?
That's only if you feel comfortable enough with the scoring you're getting from the starters. And I don't think he would be comfortable right now. And I'm not comfortable enough to do it. And I kind of like the role of her just being a 6-man. She plays the 6-man role pretty well. So I like her coming off the bench. I think Rebecca just having some games where she's having a tough time putting it together. But I do still think she's the best option as a starter at the 3.
Okay. That's fair. That's fair. Haize Vanlith, before you came in, I was about to start talking about her. 26 minutes today, 2 of 6 from the field, 2 rebounds, 1 assist. She did have 5 turnovers and a personal foul. When you look at Haize, it's of course going to be a trial by fire for Haize Vanlith in her rookie season. And now we've kind of gone to a position where we were able to kind of get her in there for some minutes. Now we actually are relying on her minutes, 26 minutes today. What's something that you need to see from her to improve on because now we have to rely on her for some depth there?
First thing she could do that she could work on every day on her own is ball handling. Like she should be doing ball handling drills, and she's been working on it, but she needs more work on it. She knew that people was gonna pick her up 94 feet, and I think that's what was the issue versus last game. If you allow her to get up the court, gather, get comfortable, that's when Haize becomes dangerous. If you bother her, get her irritated, get her off her square, she's gonna have a rocky game. So I think she just need to put herself in more situation where she's working on the outside. When I mean outside of a game or a practice, what she need to work on is just putting herself in uncomfortable positions, having somebody hound her ass for 94 feet. And like I said, since we drafted her job is to be Haize. You're not a point guard. You're never probably going to be a point guard. The best Haize out there is when she's just out there reacting and just trying to be aggressive. That's when the playmaking comes out because she's reacting to it. If she's trying to go out there and think the game, she's gonna think her ass into a turnover. So that's been my whole thing since I've been watching Haize since she was at Louisville. She's a combo guard. Let her be a combo guard. The day you start wanting her to be a playmaker only or or your primary playmaker and guard, point guard only, that's when she's gonna struggle the most, and that's the time she struggles the most as a Sky so far as an NBA as a WNBA player.
And so I'm not trying to compare the caliber of players. So when I make this comparison, anybody who's watching this live or after the fact, I'm not comparing the caliber, but more so the style. So do you think that this season is going to have to be Haize Vanlith playing more of a Jamal Murray role, whereas Camilla and Angel play the Jokic role and do more of the facilitating, and that's what's going to be the best for this team?
Yeah, that's perfect. Like, yeah, that's what she kind of, yeah, she's a Jamal Murray. When he needs to make crucial pass when he in rhythm, he can do that. But when he's out there just being aggressive and both of like Jokic and that synergy is going, just like last game when she was going, she was to be aggressive and Angel was being aggressive, but she was also looking out for the pass as well. That's when you got the best offense.
Yeah. So we'll see. I mean, like I said, rookie season comes fast. You never know how things can change. And she went from being a player that was gonna have some opportunity to learn and still get minutes. Now she's definitely, we got to rely on her. We really don't have any, like, the guard depth isn't the best here, and so you got to rely on Haize Vanlith to get out there. Rachel Banham, Elizabeth Williams, Michaela Oniwerde, those, of course, other than Haize Vanlith, our main bench rotation. 6 points today from Michaela, 6 points from Elizabeth Williams. Nothing for Rachel Banham at all. What's going on with this bench shooting? And do we have enough production there?
No, we haven't been getting enough production. I think last game was our best bench production as a whole. And yeah, the thing is, usually your bench kind of looks somewhat different than your starters. Like the way we approach the game once the bench came in offensively is the same way. We're looking for the three. We're trying to penetrate and kick out. If we don't get the penetration in, that's what we're gonna be. We try to kick out. If we kick out, we're gonna try to kick it back into the player that's trying to seal up or post up or game position. And I think that's the biggest flaw that we have. Like, there's not enough different on the bench. There's too much of the same thing that we're already seeing. So it's almost like you're getting the team that you're going up against extra reps of guarding the starters because they seeing the same type of looks.
Yeah, I mean, we don't have any change of pace players, that's for sure. Like, and even the the defensive intensity that Michaela and Elizabeth Williams can bring sometimes is really good. Make no mistake about it. E Will, to me, and I don't want to. I'm not trying to judge E Will because I think she's a very consistent vet. You know what you're going to get from her night in and night out. So I'm not trying to, like, come at her hard or anything like that. But I feel like Elizabeth Williams hasn't had the same impact I've been used to seeing from Elizabeth Williams. And I don't know if that's her still recovering from injury. I don't know what that is, but there's something there where it's like it's there in flashes, but not as consistent as I'm used to seeing it from me, Will.
I think I'm starting to see a trend, especially with older players in the W. If they have a real significant injury, it kind of takes them a minute. I just seen it with Chelsea Gray, and I just seen it with Stewie. Because I said it the last 2 years, Stewie hasn't necessarily looked like Stewie. And that's because she's been dealing with some injuries with her legs. And the same thing was with Chelsea. Chelsea, the last year coming in, she didn't have the greatest year until she went into Unrivaled and she revived herself again. So I think that's the thing. When you're old, especially with her being one of the most athletic players at her position and her not really being injured at all, like usually women face some type of major injury from whether it's in high school or college. I don't think E Will ever really had a real major injury. So I think she just rushed and she just trying to shake and get comfortable back into herself because, like I said, I think this was her first real major injury for real.
Yeah, I think you're right on that one. Great comment here. It says Tyler's leaving a bad lineup in for too long. The starting lineup in the second half lost the lead. Steve, you made a lot about. You even said it in this episode so far. Like, lineups are a thing that I think it comes with being more comfortable coaching. I think when you're an assistant, you don't always get the balance of the ebbs and flows unless that's your job is to call certain adjustments in lineups. Tyler Marsh seems like that balance between rest and when you have to get players back out on the court is missing him right now. But with the injury that we have and Mariah Jefferson giving the Sky absolutely nothing so far this season, is he doing the best he can with the lineups? Or do you see little things that he can mess with to get the better lineups out there?
Yeah, you could tell like when that comes to that, and that's probably one of the most things I've given grace on. You could tell he's really learning on the job, and that's usually a common thing with most first time coaches. They either leave it rotations, a certain group in either too long, or they take them out too early. We've seen that over a multitude of games. We've seen him even last game when it really took him half damn near to the end of the game to realize that we need to put Haley on the guard last game because she was
Hmm.
killing us. Like, because who was guarding there first? Was it? I think it was Bantam or somebody. No, it was Rebecca Allen. Had Rebecca Allen on that. She was torching her. And it just wasn't looking good. You had to put somebody that was going to get up on her and be willing to guard her 95th feet. And then, like I said, it took him half the game to notice that. And that's what typically happens with young players. So, especially on top of most of the coaches that he brought along aren't super long tenure coaches besides his dad. So everybody else that's been coaching, I don't think been coaching more than maybe 4 years total.
Yeah, and that's why you like to see first time head coaches surround and fill out their bench with veteran head coaches because they can help with some of those situational things that you miss sometimes, and you
Mm-hmm.
need that. And Tyler Marsh is clearly missing that. Again, I'm not trying to. I mean, Tyler Marsh, we know that he needs to get better. It seemed like he was starting to get a little bit better, but those lineup things, and switching, those are the things that he misses quite often. But let's hope that we get that better in gear. The Sky right now, Steve-O, 3-8 on the season. 11 games. I think people forget like 11 games in the WNBA season. That's a quarter of your season already in. We only play 40 some games. Like that's a quarter of the season already in. We got Phoenix, Atlanta, Los Angeles coming in over the next 7 days. Do you think that with what we saw the last game, what we even saw this game with Angel and Camilla playing better in this game as well, is there still enough time to right this ship, or do you think like it may be a little too far gone already?
I mean, I ain't gonna say it's far gone because I don't have any expectations. Let me put that out there for one. But is it too far gone? No, because like you said, they're only a quarter away through. They can get hot. We've seen crazier things, like with the championship that we did win. Like I said, I don't
That's
care what
true.
nobody
People
say.
forget
That was
that
an accident.
yeah, that was we turned that on at the right time and rode that momentum all the way to the title.
Yeah. So like I've seen crazier things, but that's my thing. Like the reason why I'm not so down compared to the last few games, it would be a problem if we still getting our ass blown
Mhm.
out. Now that we starting to get in the flow, I can see us starting to go into these games. Not saying it's a guaranteed L now. Like we can fight a little
Yeah,
bit.
for sure. Next 5 games for the Sky are all on national television. Phoenix is on ABC and ESPN. The Atlanta game is on ESPN. Los Angeles, the Sparks game is on NBA TV. The Golden State game is on Ion, and then the second Sparks game is on ESPN as well. We've not fared very well over national TV games over the last couple of years. Let's hope we can start righting that ship a little bit because you want to step up at
Yeah.
the big stage, right? And so out of our next 5 games as well, 3 of them are on the road, so that's going to be tough. But Scott, this is the season, this is the schedule. You got to figure out your way and your momentum, and so it's good to see Angel and Camilla start building off of it. I talked about them before you came on. How'd you feel about their games today?
Oh, I like it. Like whenever they're aggressive, that's all I can ask for. Both of them being very efficient from the field. Angel being 7 for 13, Camilla being 8 for 13. So all I can ask for. Both giving us double doubles, both giving us 10 rebounds. The bigs did their job. That's all we can ask for. Like the fact that like I've been saying, the rookie we've been leaning on the rookie since day one. I don't think that nobody's gonna disagree with
Yeah,
me with that.
I think too many people are going to disagree with you at all on that one. Final thoughts, Steve-O. Anything left before we get up out of here, man?
Like I said, I don't think like yeah, it was a terrible way to lose. We was up 16 at some points, but hey, like I told y'all, when you're a bad team, you have bad habits, and bad habits are hard to shake. But like I said, we ain't getting our ass blown out now. Our best players are going into their stride, so let's just hope that we can see. Like I said, I'm good. I'm just seeing decent basketball because at first it was becoming very
Yeah, I
unwatchable.
mean, there's definitely improvement in the style of basketball that we're playing. Definitely improvement in the chemistry, I think, of this team as well. And sometimes you got to go through that adversity to find yourself, especially when you're a newly formed team with a rookie head coach as well. So let's hope that the best is still ahead of the Chicago Sky. They've definitely been playing better. I know we didn't get a post game out after the Angel triple double game. Life was lifing. It was also Father's Day, so like I was gone by the middle of the day.
Yeah.
So we appreciate y'all for staying in and sticking this out with us, man. We'll be a lot more consistent. Make sure you guys are following us at Chicago Sky Pod. You can send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns, Chicago Sky Central at gmail.com. And then lastly, if you want to leave a text, enter voicemail for the mailbag, 773-270-2799. We're the number one spot for everything Chicago Sky related. We'll see y'all in the next one. Peace, y'all.
This has been a presentation of the Break Media.